I'm super excited to be here your way again. And already he needs no further introduction. His name is John Obidi, the founder of Headstart Africa. He's the internet mogul. I'm super excited to be having you here today again. I have a few questions, and he just finished the most impactful and disruptive event in Lagos, designing the decade. Everybody's asking, oh my God, this event was mind-blowing. It was crazy. You were able to bring in some of the most brilliant minds in Nigeria in one room. What was in your mind when you wanted to organize something like this?
I always say that people of wisdom plan in decades.
Okay.
We always have to train ourselves to become long-term thinkers.
Okay.
The people who change the world, the people who move the world, the people who run the world have a culture of thinking long-term.
Okay.
So some people can only think in terms of days, some in months, and some can manage in years. But if we can plan in decades, there's almost nothing that will be impossible. So the idea of designing the decade is to design what the blueprint would be over the next decade. Now, of course, plans are not finite. They're not set in stone. Not every part of that plan would probably be relevant as time goes on. But the habit of planning alone has its dividends. And that's what we came to do, looking at where we've been in the past decade and where we think that we will be going in the next decade, and positioning for whatever is going to unfold. And not just positioning, but positioning advantageously, making some destiny-sensitive moves in anticipation of where the times are and where the times will be. So that's what designing the decade was about.
Well, that's brilliant. And a lot of people are asking this question: how can they access the replay? They want to make progress in 2024. They've missed the experience, but they really want to be part of it. Is there a replay, sir?
Yes, everyone can just head on to designthedecade.com and you'll get access to the replays there.
Designthedecade.com. I have just one question. This was designed to be very short. And a lot of people are asking this question. People are stuck, people are frustrated. They are trying to understand what is their next level, what they're supposed to be focused on doing in 2024. And if there is anybody I can ask that question, it has to be John Obidi. So the question now is, what should everybody, thought leaders, entrepreneurs, impact leaders, young people, professionals, and those that, they have 9 to 5 and all those stuff, what should be that thing that everybody should be focused on doing right now in 2024?
Well, everyone's journey is different.
Okay.
So what everyone would plan individually would also be different. But I can offer a framework.
Okay.
So there's this saying of Solomon that holds true, and it says, the battle is not to the strong, nor the race to the swift, but time and chance happens to them all. Now, while deconstructing that parable, whatever advantage you think you have now, that is your strength, time is going to happen to it.
Yeah.
There was a time when the British were the strongest in the world, because strength at the time was defined by your navy, the size and strength of your navy. Because nowadays, the countries that nobody messes with in the world are not the ones with the best air force. So even countries that may not be as rich or anything, nobody messes with them because they have nuclear weapons. And even time is going to happen to nuclear weapons. We're moving into a time where singularity is looming large. We're looking into a time where things like quantum computing are going to be such a big deal in the next decade. With quantum computing, strength is probably likely going to be defined by countries that have the kind of quantum energy to perform the most complicated tasks at the speed of thought. So the countries that are going to be the strongest at that time are those who are able to harness quantum computing to get computers to make a lot of decisions very quickly. So when you combine quantum computing and artificial intelligence, you just go to create a monster. And these two are what some of the biggest countries in the world are planning for and positioning for. As a web designer, as a lawyer, as an Air Force personnel, or as a policeman, or as a doctor, as a consultant, as a digital marketer, whatever it is you're doing as a freelancer, what is strength defined by now, and what will strength in this field be defined by in the next decade? Let's say you're a lawyer. What was strength defined by as a lawyer? Strength at some point was maybe defined by how many employees you had.
Yeah.
There was a time where I think the Fortune 500 companies in America, this year has been a terrible time for the thing we call job security. Yeah. Just this morning, I read on the news that Spotify just laid off 1,400 employees.
Wow, 1,400.
We're counting these numbers as if it's Gary. 1,400 people just lost their jobs at Spotify, and I'm not counting everything we've heard from the other big companies like Amazon and Google and Microsoft and companies that people thought that were too big to have such issues, right? Why are people losing their jobs? Because these companies are for profit. They've realized that there are cheaper ways of keeping their operations running that are cheaper than humans. And that's computers, right? Companies have started redefining how strong they are by how many computers are able to replace humans. That's their strength now. And so as an individual, you've got to figure out what that definition of strength is for you. Strong at what? Swift. But at what? The next decade will belong to people who are able to correctly define what it means to be strong and take ascendancy there. Correctly define what it means to be swift and take ascendancy there. So the battle, of course, will be to the strong. The race will be to the swift, but only those who are able to define strength and speed correctly. Because as always, time happens to all those definitions. And of course, when it says chance, what is chance? This is a very important part of this conversation. What exactly do you mean? So say time and chance. Chance is like randomness. But I like to define chance in this context by the word serendipity. Right? Serendipity means to chance upon a magnificent discovery, right? Now, I'm a scientist by training. I study computer science. And scientists, there's one thing we never play with: research and development, R&D. The biggest tech companies in the world have a significant R&D budget. The United States government invests heavily in R&D, whether it's through their agencies, NASA, USAID, whatever they are. They invest heavily in R&D. Now, it is only when you make research and development a continuing part of your personal culture that you have a chance to happen upon a serendipitous discovery. The time and chance happens to them all. So, in summary, make sure that you are defining strength correctly by where the world is going. Make sure you are defining speed correctly by where the world is going, and make sure that everyone is significantly invested in research and development so that chance again will not happen to you.
Wow. So we're done with this, but briefly, just in one word, what is the one skill that everybody watching right now should learn in 2024? Just one skill.
Everyone needs to learn how to use artificial intelligence, AI, to amplify whatever it is that they're doing.
Wow. So if you're watching this, you need to go start learning how to use artificial intelligence. And next year, it's a new level. If you're not ready for next year, you'll be caught unprepared. So go get ready, because next year we're about to take the game to the next level. So here with me is John Obidi. You want to connect with him, check the link, check the description. Follow him on Instagram, follow him on all platforms. Thanks so much for being here. It's been a pleasure. And bye for now. Please subscribe and stay connected. Bye for now.